Sometime in the middle of 2026, for the first time since the internet existed, most of the traffic moving across it stopped being human. The company Cloudflare measured it. A little over half of every request hitting websites now came from automated programs rather than from people. Its own chief executive had expected that crossover a year later than it arrived, and admitted it had come faster than he thought. The line had been climbing quietly for years, gradually, and then all at once, until one day it crossed, and the internet became a place with more machines moving through it than people. Almost no one noticed the day it happened. And that is only the traffic. One analysis of nearly 1 million new web pages found that around 3/4 of them contained writing produced by a machine, not written by a person with a tool at hand, but assembled by a model, posted by a script, indexed by a crawler, without a hand ever touching a key. The thing you are reading, more and more of the time, was not written by anyone at all. It is worth being clear about what that costs. The whole value of the internet rested on one assumption. Almost no one ever said out loud that on the other end of the screen, there was a person. A review meant a human had bought the thing and formed an opinion. Traffic meant attention, and attention meant a mind on the other side. Take the person out from under all of it, and the meaning drains away. A review becomes a paragraph of plausible text. A crowd becomes a number. An audience becomes a mirror, reflecting a model trained on the last version of the same web. The machine internet still works, as plumbing, as a way to move information around. It has just stopped being a place where being human counts for very much. And when a thing can no longer be verified in one place, it moves to the place where it still can. There is one thing a machine cannot produce, and it is the oldest and simplest thing there is: a body in a room at a particular time. Physical presence has quietly become the last unforgeable proof that there is a person here at all, not a claim of a person, and not a photograph of one, which a model now generates by the thousand, but an actual human being, occupying space, who cannot be copied and pasted. Sit for a moment with how much has stopped being proof. A photograph used to mean something happened. Now it means nothing, because a model will paint you anything you describe. A voice on the phone used to mean a particular person was speaking. Now a few seconds of audio is enough to clone it. Seeing is believing was the whole basis of trusting anything at a distance, and it is quietly dying, which is why a tired little question now attaches to everything. Is this even real? There is exactly one thing that question cannot be asked of, and it is a person standing in front of you. That is why the future is offline. Not because screens rot the mind, which is the old complaint, but because offline is the only place left where the word human can still be proven true. You can already watch the price of it climbing. The fashion magazines call a disconnected weekend a status symbol, which is what happens to anything the comfortable classes decide is rare. Hotels advertise the absence of a wireless signal as a feature you pay extra for. Silence itself is being packaged and sold. None of it is nostalgia. It is a market noticing that the analog thing has become the rare thing, and pricing it the way it prices everything rare. But the easy version of this story is a lie, and it is worth refusing. You cannot actually leave. For most people, logging off is not an option. It is where the work is, where the family in another country is, where you learn each morning whether the world caught fire while you slept. and much of what gets called the return to the analog is theater. A photograph, shot on film, and posted straight to the feed. A detox announced on the very platform being detoxed from. The look of being offline performed, carefully, entirely, online. So the future is not everyone leaving. It is a split. The online world keeps running, and mostly it becomes plumbing. Machines talking to machines, on behalf of people who long ago stopped reading them, cheap and automated, and, for much of ordinary life, good enough. What leaves is narrower and matters more. The exchanges that turn on trust and presence quietly move out of the feed and back into rooms. A deal that carries real weight gets done face to face, because each side needs to know the other is real. A serious employer, staring at a resume a model can write in seconds, wants to meet the person before believing a word of it. Online can no longer certify the one thing those require, that a human being is really there, and so they go looking for somewhere that can. For 30 years, the promise was that everything worth doing would move on to the internet, and most of it did. What the promise never mentioned was that all of it only worked so long as the internet was mostly made of people. That condition has now, quietly, expired. The machines did not seize the place by force. It was handed to them, one page and one account at a time, until the people who built it woke up outnumbered on it. The future being offline is not a rebellion against that, and it is not really a decision anyone is making. It is only where the humans end up, once the other place is filled wall to wall with everything that is not them.